and that is where it ends. And this is taught at school level, where no analysis can take place. The idea that was got even from the survey was that most of the people are interested in studying about the current lifestyle. But this current lifestyle, or the current perspectives of whatever the Sufis taught, is not mentioned in the course books. They have to dig deeper to find out, and that too only by self-interest. And how can we even hope to create that self-interest or even religious harmony and tolerance as a later instance, in this case, if we don't build that seed of curiosity? What I also found out was that current influences and lifestyle were the most favorite topics. Only 5% of the people had ever studied these, and nearly 62% of the people wanted this to be included in the course, wanted this to be a part of it. So religious tolerance, or even the idea of tolerance, cannot really be incurred if the seed is not planted from the very beginning, if the roots are not planted from the start. A Westerner lives in the West. An Oriental comes to visit. The Westerner is a stranger to the Oriental. But who is the real stranger? Is not the Oriental a stranger to all the West? And this is a quote by Rumi. It fits to this day. We are strangers to those whom we consider to be others. It is the perception of otherness that creates this amount of intolerance. Recently, the All India Ulama and Mashayikh Board in 2011 spoke up in large gatherings against terrorist organizations and activities and reiterated that the understanding of the spirit of Sufism is a means of projecting love and not hate. This is something we talk about. This is something we read about in the newspapers. But very few of us involve that in our daily life interactions. Again, I would link that to the lack of education, the lack of a solid base for understanding. Sufism and how we identify ourselves and each other is but a vehicle for understanding each other and our differences. And it is better that we learn from the unique attributes of each other, respecting each other's uniqueness in the process, rather than attempt to blot out each other's existence. Let me quote from Bulle Shah, a very famous kalam. Bulla ki jana mein kaun? Bulla, what do I know who I am? Neither am I a Muslim in the mosque, nor am I in the ways of paganism, nor among the pure or sinful, nor am I Moses or the Pharaoh. Bulla, what do I know who I am? Neither in the books of doctors I, nor indulged I in bhan and wine, nor in the wine house in the company of the bad, neither awake nor asleep. Bulla, what do I know who I am? While tolerance is also an important element of Islamic religious philosophy, it must not be confused with thinking that all spiritual thinkings and all spiritual teachings only belong to Muslims. There are Hindus, Muslims as well as Christian Sufis following the essentially inclusive path of Sufism, and they are rigidly and quite vocally negating those rigid and fundamentalist doctrines that support extremist activities. So if we want that we should follow the path of celebrating otherness, we first need to focus on how the Sufis built this into their lifestyles. And then, after we have studied it, studying might not just be enough. First, as the Sufis would say, putting that into ourselves and seeing how we are others even unto ourselves. That would lead us towards celebrating otherness. To conclude, let me just say that the basic instinct of every human teaches him to bond with others like him, and this concept evolves as he grows inside himself and learns from again others how to differentiate. Each new difference brings with it its own set of prejudices, and the division of gender, caste, religion, race or ethnicity, among the rest, force him to abandon his basic instinct and struggle even to find his own identity. However, in this lifelong process, he loses a part of himself to the environment. The Sufi traditions evolved beyond this usual practice of identity formation and this search for meaning, and they have already attained the next step. Renunciation of one's own self, the ego, and also attaining wholeness with the world is a part of this creed, and fusion ultimately with the Creator, the one and the one only, the Creator who has created all, is the ultimate goal, and one can only do this by celebrating otherness. Thank you very much.
Now, I may call upon Dr. Alauddin. Please come